Teal, can you describe the link between financial abundance and security, lack of security? And the security or lack of security. What could I do to work with insecurity surrounding money?
Do you feel like you have insecurity surrounding money?
I feel like I have a better vibration relative to money than a lot of people, but definitely.
Because you know how to work hard for it, right?
Yeah, I know how to work really hard. That's what my parents both taught me. It was just like super, like my dad was a carpenter and my mom, like, you know. Anyway. Okay, so it's like I need to beat the shit out of myself in order to earn something.
Alright, I want you to think about money like you think about air. Okay?
Okay.
Breathe deeply.
I'm even having a hard time doing that because I have a cold.
Just
it's probably a super match right now.
Think the scariest thought you can possibly think right now.
Just in general?
Mm-hmm.
It was a monster swallowing me.
Okay. Think about that.
Okay.
That's really the scariest thing right now?
It was a really scary looking monster.
I want your mind. Okay, so thinking about this really scary monster swallowing you.
He was really disgusting.
Thinking about this really scary monster swallowing you.
Okay.
Try to breathe.
I feel like I'm just getting, like, destroyed by stomach acid.
How's your breathing?
I can't breathe.
Exactly. This is what insecurity does to financial abundance. Abundance functions just like air. It doesn't matter whether it's an abstract concept or whether it's like physically hydrogen, H2O, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It doesn't matter like what level we're looking at. Abundance is like oxygen. It is meant to be flowing, and it is meant to be unrestricted. So the people who are doing the best with abundance right now are the people who do not create any kind of constriction. Now, this is where we're going to have to go back and forth because people get very confused with how exactly to do that and how not to do that. But any time that you're in a state of insecurity around money, you're actually preventing money because you've created a state of constriction. Now, with the breath, I can demonstrate that with the way that the body tenses up, but that's what's happening energetically in a state of insecurity. That is not a match to the flow of money any more than tensing up is a match to the flow of oxygen. So what we're looking at when we want to create a state of financial abundance is how to be as unconstricted as possible. And that is where it gets very individual and where you have to be fine-tuning. Because some people, in order to get into that state of openness, they will have to take certain precautions, which to other people may look like constriction. I'll give you an example. Myself, because of my whole past and childhood, I know that for me to be in a state of abundance, I have to have a certain amount of money set aside, like a chunk of money, in a savings account. I know it's not very smart to have money sitting in a bank. It's just, working for the bank. However, why am I doing this?
I do that too.
I am doing this because I know that as long as I have that, I will create a relaxation state around money.
Mm-hmm.
So you sort of get that, put it aside, and then now I can focus in the flow here, knowing that that's kind of my safety net. So for some people, the safety net might seem like constriction, right? Some people will be like, oh my God, if you're saving, you're constricting all the energy around abundance. You're just like, you're doing that only because you're afraid and you're insecure. Yes, however, doing that gets me out of that mentality so that I can actually be in a state of free-flowing and abundance. So it is very important as an individual person to think about what steps do I need to take to make it so that I can be in that state of free-flowing ease that is non-constricted. So let's look at you.
I do the same thing you do. When I think about, if I don't have, a nest, though, I cannot tell you the panic that would go through me if I didn't have it. But if I'm in that space where I do have it, I can create pretty easily.
So we're the same.
Yeah, we are the same.
So that's one thing you can do. Think about your safety nets and think about any action you can take that will get you in a state where you have less constriction around finances. Another thing you can do is start to change your mentality around money. because the mind is also something that constricts. So if you are walking around the world thinking nobody has anything to pay me for because my needs or what I'm good at basically doesn't meet anybody's needs, that's a thought that constricts instead of expands. If you're walking around thinking money doesn't grow on trees, there's not enough to go around, it constricts. Half the belief systems that you've been fed by your family, they constrict.
Like money is the root of all evil.
Ooh,
will get you further away from money than anything.
Yep.
Can you talk about, because this has helped me a lot, you were talking about like why we even created the money system in the first place?
Oh, I love this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the thing. I actually like money. Now, I realize that people who are really in a bad space about money, they love to look at how basically a tool is the root of all evil when it's the mind that is using the tool that is in fact the root of all evil, if you want to say it that way. I'm gonna, to help you kind of expand your concept around money, many of you who are on this call, I want to tell you how money was first created. In the beginning of our life here on planet Earth, we didn't have a way to get something else that somebody else had unless we were bartering. It was all about trade. So, let's say that I have a pot of honey, and let's say that you have material for building my house. My option is to say, here, take some honey. Thank you, I can have my building materials for having a house. Now, this is an awesome idea, right? No, this is not an awesome idea, and I'm sorry.
Limiting.
I'm sorry for those of you who would like to go back to a barter system, because it's completely fucked, and you're not going to be able to make this work long term. It is going backwards, not forwards. I'm going to tell you why. Because this is what happened. This is why money was created. Here, have some honey. Because I want this.
This is like, what I have is much more of a value than your honey, and I don't even like honey.
But honey's all I have. That's what I have to trade.
You're SOL.
Now how am I going to get what I want? What we basically created was something that was going to be universally valuable. You could trade it for anything. That's the creation of money. Freaking genius idea back when. All the things that have been done with money and our attachment to money being more important than connection is a huge freaking issue. But money was created because there has to be, for us to get what we actually need, which is to be in the flow of our own expansion path. It's not in your expansion path to not be able to get what you want. We had to create something that was universally valuable, that could be traded for anything. And that was genius. And I love that. My focus is not on how bad money is, because of the fact that that was an originally good idea. My focus is on money is only as beneficial or detrimental as the person who wields it. So what I'm focusing on is the person's psychology. But why did that change your attitude?
What? Oh, that. Well, you know, like people always talk about like the trading or whatever. When I thought about that whole concept, I realized like money really was a genius idea. Like I really prefer that over any other system like that. Like I don't want to, because I'm also the type of person who would have just like actually taken your honey because I would have felt terrible. So it makes me feel
Oh my god.
I would have. Like I cannot like not give you building materials, like have you build a freaking house. Like I would have just given it. Like I can't handle that. So actually money like helps me.
Our codependency reigns supreme.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would really.
But does this sort of make sense though? Like it's our thoughts and our concepts around money that are making it so it's very difficult for us to step into a space of financial abundance. Now, what the corrupt powers that be have done with money is a whole separate conversation. That's not the conversation I want to have with you right now. The conversation I want to have is, how can I, step into a place of abundance? Now, all that being said about money, I want you to be aware of something. If you make having what you want contingent only upon money, that's another way that you can constrict abundance. This is especially true for children. It's really important. Obviously, with kids, you can create ways for them to make money and help them brainstorm ways to be out of the box in all kinds of ways. But it's very, very dangerous to look at a child and say, well, we don't have the money, so you can't have it. Wow. Like, I cannot tell you what that does to the psyche and what that does to a person long term. Have the guts to suck it up if you're in this position and tell your child, I don't currently have the money right now. But together we can brainstorm some way to get it. And I actually do trust your capacity to create it. And so, let's focus on that. Some way to get out of it. And what will happen often is that the thing you want will come through a modality rather than money. I was actually laughing my ass off the other day, by the way, because, like, money was not really an issue for me in this circumstance, but I was like, okay, I want a dog carrier, because I need a dog carrier to bring, you know, my puppy to the place that I needed to bring him to. But I was like, I wasn't going to the store, I was being sort of lazy about it. So I made this investment, and the person who I made this investment with just left behind a dog carrier, and then I'm like, okay, well, what do you want me to do with the dog carrier? And she's like, I don't have any use for it, I don't know. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
That's awesome.
Of all the things.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want you to think about the universe in terms of money is the only way to get what it is that you're wanting. Abundance is freaking everywhere. You just have to see that as reality.
I do have friends who have a much easier ability, like manifesting a dog carrier like that, than like actual money.
Yeah, some people have a much easier time with that, yes.
Mm-hmm. But it's all the same.
Grassy goes.
I know. Totally.
Yeah, Grassy. No names.